Hello friends, today I'm going to show you how to install Active Directory role on Windows Server 2022. So currently this is the virtual machine which I have created. You can see. Firstly we will start with the local administrator. Once you are within your desktop of the server, you can directly go to the server manager. So in the server manager, go to the local server options first. Check you have a host name decided over here. Currently this server is in the local work group, so I need to create or you can say I need to install the Active Directory role to make it or to add it to the Active Directory. So first and foremost, you can see we have to set a static IP address, which is over here, and you can see like you have to set some of the options like the time zone, which are important from the DNS point of view. You can also enable some of the major things like remote desktop for accessing the server remotely. So that's it. So we can now go to the dashboard. The dashboard, you can see there is add roles feature. You need to click on that. Here you have to click on next. This is all the procedures which tells you about the administrator account has a strong password, network settings such as static IP address are configured, and most current security updates are installed. That this is some basic information which server administrator recommended things has to be done in this. So you need to click next. Here you need to select on role based or feature based installation. You don't need to select on remote desktop because this is a completely different service installation, so it is not required. No, you have to select on this. Click next and click next again. You can see in the server pool your virtual machine uh, and object is visible over here. Click next. Now here in server roles section you will see different roles which server can play. So there are like Active Directory certificate services, Active Directory domain services, Active Directory federal services, and whatnot. There are DNS server, DHCP server, many things. You need to select on Active Directory domain services. When you click on it, you will see add features that are required for the Active Directory domain services. So these features will be installed, which are required for this role, will be installed while you proceed. There is a tick include management tools if applicable. Don't remove that. You need to add everything, add features. Also select DNS server. Now in this case, if there is no DNS server already existing in your environment, then you need to select DNS server over here, because this will be the first DNS server along with your first Active Directory server. So everything related to the DNS server, all the tools and other modules will be selected. Also don't remove the tick over here. Add features. Now you need to proceed to the next. Here this is a features tab. Here you currently don't require to do anything because everything is selected by default. So whatever is recommended for Active Directory role to function at full potentials, it has been selected over here. So click next. Here they are saying Active Directory domain services store information about the user computers. So this is the role description about the role which you are installing, and things to note to help ensure that users are still logged on to your network in case of the server outage. Install a minimum of 2 domain controls for the domain. So it also recommends to install an additional domain controller or an RODC, but primarily we can say that your most important will be to create an additional domain controller, because this will be a PDC and the another domain AD server. It might be a VM or it might be a physical machine. It will be an active additional domain controller. Okay, so you can click on next. Here you can see the DNS server feature or role which we selected along with the Active Directory role. Here the description for that. There is also things to know. DNS server integration with Active Directory services automatically replicates DNS data along with the directory server data, making it easier for DNS. So it is an important role which has to be besides the Active Directory role for host resolutions to IP. So click on next. Here you can see all the features which are selected, and also the sub features which are auto selected. All the list will be visible over here before we proceed for the installation. So you can just confirm every important thing is there. Okay, so now click on install. Now the installation has started. It will take like 10 to 15 minutes depending on your server speed. After this we will proceed for uh, promoting to the DC mode. So just wait for this thing to complete. So you can see now everything is installed and there is close button visible, so you can close it. So first and foremost, you will see on at the left hand side there are some another options. Services are enabled like ADDS role service and DNS service. So also before doing anything else, we need to check at the top right corner where you can see in the notifications there is exclamation mark. Click on that. Here you can see post deployment configuration, the configuration required for Active Directory domain server at PDC. So this procedure has to be done, otherwise it will not be an Active Directory server. You need to promote this server to the domain controller. So click on this. Here you can see deployment configuration. In the right hand side you can see the select the deployment operation. Here are the three options: add a domain controller to an existing domain. If the domain is existing, like there is already an primary domain controller, then you can create an additional domain controller using that. Second one is add a new domain to an existing forest. Now, if you already have a forest with the ebc.com, then you can add a new domain controller to that forest. And here is a create a new forest. So because we don't have any domain right now, so we are fresh at the moment, so we will create our first domain over here. I will give it a name vedang.com. So you need to put this complete FQDN name, not just a NetBIOS name of Vedang. There should be a .com at the end. So now you can click next. Here you are seeing a domain controller options. In the right hand side it is forest functional level Windows Server 2016 and domain functional level Windows Server 2016. Now if you already have a domain created in server 2012, many years back, might be it is a server 2012, then you need to select it over here. And if this is the server 2022, which is domain you are adding to that, this is the server you are adding to that domain, then you need to select the domain function level over here. Now server 2022 doesn't have a server functional level, so it is using a server functional level of 2016 version. So currently, as we don't have any already existing domain, so we will select this also to server 2016. Here you can specify the domain controller capabilities. Don't tick anything else until required. This is a domain name system DNS required. Global catalog GC, this is also required. Now we are not creating an additional read-only domain controller, because this will be a next step after we create a primary domain controller. If we require, we will create it, but currently it is not required, so we will not tick it. Here you can see, and also this checkbox is disabled because there is no existing domain. Here we need to put a recovery or a restore mode DSRM password. Now click on next. Here you can see there is DNS options visible, and it is showing a message: a delegation for the DNS server cannot be created because the authoritative parent zone cannot be found. So there is no already existing DNS server, and it is also our first domain, also along with the first primary domain controller. So we are creating a fresh DNS server. It will be the first DNS server in our environment. So without doing anything else, click on next. Here it is proceeding to the additional options. Here it is asking us to verify the NetBIOS name. NetBIOS name is in capital letters without a .com at the right hand side. So it is okay to proceed. Click on next. Here you can see the database folder paths, log folder paths, and sysvol folder paths. Let these paths be to the default address. No need to change them. Here it is all the review options. You can see what things we selected for promoting this server to an Active Directory server. So you can see all the settings which are the options we selected for this role. Click on next. Now it will be doing a prerequisite check. It will be doing some additional components which are required during the installation process. So these warnings will be visible, like Windows Server 2022 domain controller have default for the security settings named allow cryptographic algorithm compatible with NT 4.0 that prevents weaker cryptographic algorithms when establishing security channel sessions. So this is some warning they are showing about cryptographic algorithms compatibility. For now we are not concerned about this. Might in future will be, but for now we are not. Here as you can see, this is the first DNS server, so it is warning about if there is already existing DNS server, then you need to enter the information, but as there is no DNS server already existing, so this warning can be neglected. Rest prerequisite checks are complete. All prerequisite checks pass successfully. Now click on install. Now this will take some time. It will be showing all the status about the configuration it is performing. In more installation options, I don't know what is there. Let us check. When you click on this, it goes to the browser. Okay, so currently server was successful, so it actually showed a message for restarting the server, and then it automatically restarted. So all things are done now. You can see the Active Directory role running on the server. Now in some moment it will be starting. As you can see, I'm running this what this in an virtual machine. So this is a Hyper-V server which I have created on Windows 11 host. These are some servers which will be visiting in future. I will be guiding on what purpose I have created this. Now we are at the lock screen, and now you can log in either by the local administrator or the AD Active Directory domain admin user. For the domain control login, we will use only a local administrator role. Login using the local administrator role. Okay. So we are at the desktop. Here you can see the services are loading, and it is showing a status of loading the services. All the services, Active Directory services and the DNS services are loaded. Also you can see there is a file storage service enabled. So this domain controller also will act as a storage server for some reason, but we are not going to use it like that. Okay, so this is your Active Directory server. So when this role is enabled on the Windows server, you can see under the Windows administrative tools, you will see the Active Directory components which you can use to manage the server, like Active Directory users and computers, Active Directory domain and trust. There also will be a DNS module management options, also the group policy management options. So you can just open them. Let's see, you are seeing now the vedang.com. Now this is the first domain, so, and also a first primary domain controller. So in future, if we require for the high availability, we will create a secondary domain controller or additional domain controller. Or if we at some other location we want an AD server for local signing of the user, but we don't want to allow that location to add users to that domain controller, we can create an RODC, read-only domain controller. So read-only domain controller we only will be available for the users to log in at your branch locations, but they will not be able to create any user in that domain controller. All the user creations will be done from the primary domain controller. So for now, you can see here are domain admin users, local admin users. You can create your own users over here. You can just create one organizational unit. Here you can give your organizational unit members group a name. So you can say Rasto or Vedang name users. Okay, you can keep this tick if you don't want to accidentally delete it. It will protect it from accidental deletion. So, or you can remove this tick. I would better remove this tick because I have been creating this temporarily. Okay, so in this you can create users as you require. The users which will be created over here are the users without administrative rights. So I can create like Vedang Jadhav. Here bring you the user logon name as vedang.j. Click next. User must change password at next login. I don't want that. User cannot change the password. I also don't want. I want that. So my password never expires. Okay. Click. Now you can put a password over here. I will put my decided password over here. And now finish. Now you can see my user by my name is created. Now this user is a domain user without administrative rights, so it will be a normal domain user which you normally create for an organization employee. I will also show you another one. Sneha Jadhav. So I have created another user. J. This tick will be removed as we don't want the user to change the password, and also we want the user should not change the password. Also the password should not expire. So I will reset the password for this another user. Okay. Also you can create a domain administrator user. Now other than the just an admin using the administrator directly, domain administrator directly to your and company's machines or any other servers, you will be creating a domain admin by your decided name. So here you can see there are domain admins. This is a group. This is a domain admin user. So you can just click on copy. Here you can decide what will be the user. Here will be redund admin, and it will be named as redund A. Okay, so this will be a redund A, but I will not going to use redund A. I am going to use admin. So here also the same thing. User cannot change the password never expires. So you can like take this thing. User can change the password never expires. So I will also remove this for security reasons. It should expire and tell me to change the password. Now in some software cases this might affect their services, so I will like first keep this. And in another videos I'll try to create the domain admin with a password with a user which will have the password expiring. So as we have not entered the password, it is showing us error. To decide the password for this also. Okay, so this domain admin user is created. Now we can move this domain admin to this organizational unit which we created earlier. So this is the domain admin. So the difference will be like we have in members, this is just domain user, and in domain admin in members these will be a multiple roles to the domain admins, like local administrator, domain admins, domain users, enterprise admins, group policy creator, owners, and scheme admins. Okay, so that's it. Also we will have another options like DNS to decide forward lookup zone, reverse lookup zone. Okay, so for now this is it. We will meet next time in some other server creation videos. Thank you.